April Fools. Wait, it's New Year's. Wait, which one is it? Oh, you think it's New Year's, don't you? Oh, you've been fooled. It's a New Year? What do they tell you? Spring cleaning. Go out and clean during the spring. No, 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 no. That's not how that works. During the spring, when you spring up and rise up, when it starts to get warm, that's when a rebirth occurs. A new year. A new year occurs. And that's the symbol of the egg. As the egg pops out and it's protected by the shell, and everything, the goings ons of the eggs are sitting in there, waiting to be birthed later, but it was birthed out of the first portal into the new year. Right now, it's the dead of winter. It's not a new year. This is the end of this is in the middle of the darkness. This is in the middle of cold. You should be cleaning right now. Right now is when you should be fasting. Right now is when you should be cleaning, not spring. That's the foolery. You've been fooled. April 1st, April Fool's Day, because you were fooled. Even if you divided up the calendar as sits in the Gregorian calendar. January, February, March. That's 3 months. Times 4 is 12. There's your 12 months and your 4 seasons. Winter, old man winter, is when rest should be happening. Spring, during the 1st of April, which is sometimes referred to as the beginning of spring for some, that's the foolery. So you've been fooled on April 1st. Actually, you were fooled on January 1st to believe it was the new year. But the connection between even Skull and Bones and these secret societies was the date. March 22nd? That sounds an awful lot like spring equinox. It's always right around there, the 21st of March, when the equinox occurs, when spring actually comes to be. And it's all about Eostre and Ishtar and these other goddesses, these ideas of spring popping up, and these goddesses of fertility. They bring the goods, the Easter eggs. The eggs were brought by the rabbit, because rabbits lay eggs. That's foolery. So Easter, if you don't see the symbolism and you think rabbit, if you haven't looked at that, rabbits laying eggs, it's symbolic. And everybody says, fuck like rabbits. Why? Because it's fertility. They're fast, they're bunnies, they're everywhere, they're hopping along, they're enjoying the spring. And the eggs are symbolic for that new year. They're symbolic of everything to do with how an ego, a shell, it's been birthed out of a womb and is ready to be sprung up into the summer, into the birthing process. And so this 322, this skull and bones, the hidden secret societies, it's even encoded in the 322 right there. Other people have different ideas of what 322 might be, but it's always wrought in symbolism. It's always wrought in dates. And even this New Year's, what happens on New Year's that you believe right now, when it's actually a fall, because it has fallen, so it's autumn, was when Adam fell, the fell of man, going into the winter, when it's reached basically the coldest, lowest point. And so what happens? Ball drops. The bowel drops. So what does everybody do? They take their higher consciousness that's up in the air and they drop it down into Bowl's world. And it's at midnight. Why wouldn't it be at noon? Why would they celebrate the new year at midnight? So you celebrate into the darkness? It would seem as though if it was a new year, you would be springing up and you'd be celebrating the rising of something. But no, people unconsciously celebrate the fall and the bowel falling down. The ball drops and the consciousness goes down into the pits of the world again at midnight. Everyone wakes up on a perceived new year, hung. And then they get it, they think they clean in the spring when they should be planting seeds. They don't realize they're being reborn in the spring. So all of these things connected to even to, as I was explaining in my last video about New Year's. What is the 12th is actually a more proper day if you want to celebrate, just because you should be looking at the moon to do any type of new cycle resolutions. And it's not even a resolution, it's a solution because you'd change it. Because these cycles come around often, 13 times in a year, according to the Mayans and according to the actual moon cycles of 28.5 days, or 28 days times 13, 364 days in a year. But then they'll have to get into the Mayan cosmology, which is much, much closer to the actual harmonics and resonances of the earth and your body and the timescape of 1320. We'll do that another time, but certainly we can tell right now that the New Year's is not a new year. It's a figment. You've been fooled. Don't be fooled. Easter and Ishtar and spring and rabbits and bunnies and eggs and even the skull and bones and the vernal equinox and the spring equinox and the rebirthing is when the new year is. And don't think that you need to be cleaning during the spring, because that's when you should be planting. Right now should be the cleaning. So get on a fast, clean yourself. Cheers, y'all.